really fun second half. I mean, to beat a program like that, and to do it in the fashion that we did it, with a lot of grit and determination and a lot of fight. I mean, I'm really proud of our basketball team. And, you know, we always fight, but we found winning plays. You know, the shot making finally kind of, you know, rose a little bit from the ashes, so to speak, because that's where it was hanging out for a while. But it was obviously a great win, and I like that we gutted it out in overtime. You know, we were pretty tired. Took a lot to get back into that game, and they're difficult to defend. They just are difficult. They've got mass, they've got size, they've got shooting ability at a lot of spots. So I think it took execution on that end as well. You can't just play hard, you got to play right, and I think we did a lot of that in the second half.
The game-winning drive was a play that Brooke had pulled out before earlier in the clutch time. Is that the play that you really wanted, or was that just the option it got to?
Well, we always tell Brooke to be aggressive. You know, that's just a grizzly punch look, we call it. You know, we were either going to, you know, punch it to the elbow with Emma, you know, and she's got her little Dirk Nowitzki game, or get to the basket. But if, you know, they push baseline, they force baseline. And again, we had the right personnel on the floor where they were really attached to shooters. So it does present a nice opportunity to really attack the rim. And that's how that young lady's wired. And she was brilliant in that second half, really in the entire game. I just loved her mentality and the motor. And she gives you that player that can put pressure on the rim. And so I think you saw the coming out party of Brooke Carlson.
Why are you a better offensive team than Brooke Carlson's on?
Pace, decision making, again, pressure at the rim. And she's a pretty darn good shooter as well, but she sees it like a true point guard. But you know, we live with some of the defensive things, and you know, I'm not going to let her off the hook and totally tonight. But you know, she's learning that you cannot relax on the other end of the floor, because every time she did, 11 made her pay. But she just is a different energy and a playmaker, and so we're probably going to have, you know, yeah, that was fun, and I think our kids like playing with that speed in the second half. So,
but honestly, weren't you more focused defensively in the third quarter, because there was a reason why they shot 50% in the first half, and it wasn't your best defensive half. So what adjustments did you make on that end of the floor to give your offense a chance to catch up?
Yeah, it was like 57% or something in that first half. But what was your question?
What defensive adjustments did you make? Because they didn't have as easy of a time offensively in the second half as they did in the first.
I don't think we really didn't make any adjustments, to be honest with you. We just played with a little more focus, and a little tougher. And two, I mean, I thought they ran a really good offense the first half. Like, they were really physical with their ball screens. You know, we learned to compete at a whole different toughness level. You know, not that we weren't playing hard the first half, but they came out like, you know, that's a team that's been in the NCAA tournament forever, and that's how you get there. And we adjusted, and so just tougher, Mike.
Can you tell me about Joe Baldwin's impact in that fourth quarter and overtime? You talked about how Gonzaga had a lot of size, a lot of mass. That was a big issue for you guys in the first half. But can you tell me about her impact coming in overtime and getting those rebounds and hustling?
Yeah, Joe, she's a really good athlete. She's got a really good feel for the ball, and she allows us to space the floor differently when she's in the game, because we play her down there in the, you know, that dunk spot, and it just, you know, that's why we got probably more drives in the second half at the basket. You know, when you play five out, those gaps can shrink pretty easily. So, along with all of her, you know, energy and toughness and that sort of thing, she helps it space it. I thought the putback she had was key. And so, but Joe's been great all year. You know, her minutes are short in and out. You know, she plays really hard. She gets tired, and then we pull her. But, you know, I think every one of her minutes have been quite productive.
You forced lots of turnovers tonight, but you weren't able, especially in that first half, to get points off those turnovers. That seemed to change in the second half. What led to that, and what was the kind of game
well, some of those turnovers were, they threw them out of bounds or whatever, they're dead ball type of turnovers. There were a few more live ball turnovers there in that second half, but I don't know. We just loosened up and played. I think our kids were maybe a little out of character in that first half with the crowd. We couldn't get a shot to fall early, so we just pressed a little bit and dug ourselves a big hole and made plenty of mistakes because of that. And I think we just changed the thinking and just freed it up and said, I don't give a darn. We had a better I don't give a darn in the second half.
What do you tell a team going into the locker room at halftime, especially the way the first half ended, with them extending their lead with 5 free throws?
Yeah, those 5 free throws were not good. We just said, just possession by possession. We couldn't have played, like, shot making wise, any worse, in that first half. But not bad shots though, so it's just the mindset's got to change, ladies. You got to start getting it more of a winning type of mindset, bring it on type of mindset. And we just said we wanted it under 10 going into the fourth. And it was what going into the fourth quarter? Was it 5, I think, or something like that? So our kids really, they did a great job crawling back in that thing. And then we got the crowd involved, and that kind of got us over the hump.
Freshman grows every game that they play. Does a game like this grow exponentially more, considering the impact that she had on this game, and the nerves of steel she had when she needed it?
Absolutely. And it just proves to that individual that, yes, I can do it. Yes, the coaches trust me, and against a really, really good team. So, her confidence should really, really rise. I thought Chloe made some big drives. I thought everybody was just really good that second half. And so, again, Gonzaga is awesome. They pose a lot of problems that made us look silly at times, but and two, I want our team to play with a little more, So, we went in there a little ornery at that halftime, to answer your question. And so, whether it was from the 5 free throws that we gifted them, all right, but we came out with a little different fire in our belly, and that's how I want my team to play all the time.
Can you tell me a little more about the crowd tonight? Obviously, the push for the sellout, but when it gets to this point, 20 points come back, you get into overtime, the crowd's really jumping. How does that impact your growth, and even you as a coach, in that overtime period? Does that give you so much of a boost?
Yeah, it really does, and we told the group at halftime too, get the crowd involved, just get them involved. They're here to have fun, and so they made the difference, especially that latter part of that third quarter. They really got involved, and it lifted us because we were tired. We exerted a lot of energy to crawl back into that game, but then they got us over the hump in overtime. And I think they were the reason, our crowd was the reason for E.G. missing that free throw. They just put some game pressure, some crowd pressure on that young lady, and we were fortunate she missed. But, it's not very often you have the president of your university and your AD turning around to the crowd and let's go. So I do want to thank President Parsons and her team for, really pushing this game, and John and Chris Ferris and the athletic team for, they always say they want to be so impactful that it helps us be one score better. And I think it was the key tonight. We were one score better because of our fans tonight. So thanks, Ram fans. It was really good, wasn't it, Mike?